Well, I have been meaning to make this video for so long, you guys. So now I decided that we're gonna start with our YouTube channel, and I'm so excited. This is the first time. This is the first time that we decide to make a video for YouTube, and you know why? Like I'm doing it like this with just my iPhone camera because I thought I wanted to be a supernatural video. It was a long time of really thinking through this whole thing and thinking about what I was going to do, what were the videos going to be like. And, I just really wanted to work on the concept of what I wanted to share with you guys because, I think there's a lot of channels out there that are about English learning or language learning in general. And I really wanted to do something that was more connecting with all of you, that it wasn't just about learning English, but more about life, like learning a language through life. And I think this is super important as a concept because, as a teacher, and let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been a language teacher for the past 18 years of my life. I started off, I'm 37 right now. I started off when I was like 18 or 19. I started really early. Was my first career. Then I studied other stuff, of course. But I mean, at the end of the day, I became a teacher really early in my life, and this is all I've done. This has been my project, my lifestyle for so many years. I tried to get away from it, and I tried doing several other stuff in life, but I ended up always back in square one. So I was always coming back to teaching. And the funny, interesting, and crazy thing about teaching languages is how eventually you realize that teaching a language is all about learning about life. Perhaps you go and you say, like, what do you mean about learning about life? Well, I mean that it's everything that you do. It's not, learning a language isn't specifically to learn one thing, one area, or, you have to commit your entire life to the process. Because when you only show one part of the process, you're not really showing the entire thing. You're just showing one aspect. And really, life is so complex and so full of different situations and contexts, right? That if you don't show the entire context, it's like you end up not learning all that much. For those of you who don't know about me, my name is Vicky. Like I said, have been a teacher for the past 18 years. I've taught English, Spanish, Swedish, Portuguese, mostly focusing on English. The owner of Link Language House, which is an institution that has been working in the market for the past 10 years. And we have a focus specifically on languages for the software industry. But we also focus on programs for people who want to learn English for life. And if you want to learn other languages like Swedish or Portuguese or Spanish, I also teach those. Although I have to say nowadays, my biggest focus is on English. The reason why it's on English is because I'm focusing on just one target. I think that the other languages I speak, like I said, they are part of life, and I love them. I love Portuguese. It's my number one language of choice, for my everyday life. And I have to say, it's a really interesting thing when you speak several languages. When you are a person that's multilingual, you turn up to have several personalities if you want. It's a little bit of a crazy thing, but I swear to you, some days I feel more inclined to speak Swedish in my head. Usually it's in my mind because, I live in Uruguay and people don't speak Swedish in Uruguay. But my dad's family, they were, they're from Sweden. So originally they're from Sweden. My grandpa was from Sweden. So obviously, there's a part of me that has a relationship with Sweden, and I really love the language and the culture. Even if I didn't love it, it's still part of me. It's still part of what my family gave me. So I ended up including, it's like this really crazy combo in which you have, Sweden in the one hand, the Nordic habits, and some crazy stuff that I'll tell you about later about the culture that sometimes you say, okay, but you haven't been there for a long time. And you're like, and you think, because I used to think, well, I'm done with Sweden. Like, it's the last time I was there was like a long time ago. And then something comes back and something pulls you back and brings you back to this place. And you're like, oh, it's still there, Or some days you wake up, that happens to me a lot. I wake up sometimes and I'm like, my head is just like straight Swedish. For some reason, I don't really know how to explain. And I really feel the need to connect with that part of me. And then there's, like I said, the Portuguese side. On my mother's side, my grandfather was born in the border with Brazil. So, and I think his mother was Brazilian. So there was always around, my house, this things that he brought up from their culture that somehow paved the way for me to start diving deeper into, Portuguese as a language, then the Brazilian culture. Then I started traveling to Brazil, and it became a place that I loved. As a surfer, because I'm also a surfer, that's another thing you don't know about me. Obviously, you can imagine that Brazil is a place where I've surfed a lot. Most of my trips have been surfing trips. So I've been in Brazil several times for the purpose of surfing. In fact, surfing is such an important part of my life that is one of the biggest reasons why I travel, mostly, me and my family. Also, another thing that you don't know about me is that I lived in the U.S. when I was a child with my dad. That's part of the reason why I speak English. I spent quite a few years in New Jersey and then eventually in Texas. And so, the American culture was quite also linked to my personality to some degree. But I consider myself all in all someone like as you can imagine, because of all this, someone that feels multicultural and not really part of just one thing, And as a person that was born in Uruguay, I speak Spanish. My mom's side of the family were born in Uruguay as well, and part of my dad's family too. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I speak Spanish and live here. Currently, I'm living in Uruguay because, I really don't know why. I think it just happened. I could be definitely anywhere else, and I'm the kind of person that I don't really miss a place when I leave, but rather just maybe a few things. But I'm really not attached to places all that much, so I could be here today, gone tomorrow, and I think I feel good and ready to adapt wherever I am. Currently, some things that you don't know about me is that I'm also a mother of 3. So I have my 3 kids, plus my husband, who's an incredible filmmaker and an amazingly talented photographer that I've met 20 years ago. And when we both were musicians, and nowadays we are living together and starting up a family. And we are right in this moment, I don't know if you can see my baby bump there, but we are expecting twins in this moment. So I'm going to be a mother to twins. So what you're going to find in this channel right here is a absolute combo of my life as a teacher, as a mother of 5, about twin pregnancies, learning languages, traveling, overlanding, everything that we do, we're gonna pour it on this channel. And part of our idea is just to teach you English while you're also learning about culture. So if you want to learn about culture and you want to learn about motherhood, if you want to learn about being a twin mom, a mother of 5, overlanding, taking different roads to anywhere, working remotely, which is what we do at Link. We work remotely, about technology and software as service. Because I'm a project manager as well, this is a big part of my job, just working with teams of projects in software development. So this is all that I do. And I said, okay, I want to bring this into a channel, and I hope that you can at least connect with one of these areas. If you're one of those people, if you love surfing, if you like technology, if you like projects, if you like learning about motherhood, about culture and traveling, you came to the right place. So we'll be sharing a lot of these videos anytime soon for all of you out there. This is all for today. I hope you get to follow us, activate your notifications, and subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more of what we do. The key vocabulary in every one of our videos that you may not understand from Spanish to English is going to be posted down below, so you can check out all the valuable information from each one of our conversations. That will also be a lesson.